Hi, everybody. Wanted to pop on quickly here this Friday afternoon and get you an update on a severe thunderstorm warning that we've got just off towards our west. This impacting areas of the south suburbs of Chicago. A lot of you probably wondering what's going on. Why do we have a severe thunderstorm warning? Well, we'll explain here, and we'll also talk about the impacts here locally in Northwest Indiana. This, if you joined us over the last couple days, we've been highlighting the fact we're going to have some really gusty showers that are eventually going to turn towards gusty squalls later on this evening on into tonight. This is all a part of that same system as it works in from the north. And what we've got, this isn't really a thunderstorm towards our west. What it is a heavy downpour. There hasn't really been a lot of thunder and lightning. Can't rule that out with this. But as we look bigger picture at what we have going on right now, we've got some very, very cold air aloft up above us, right? In January, if we have a system like this come through, typically there's not a lot of instability. It's cold up here, it's cold down here, right? Well, we're late March now, and late March tends to bring about kind of a different kind of setup when you have these systems come in with the cold air. We have real cold air aloft, but keep in mind, it's a lot warmer here at the ground this time of year than it is in January. So that sun, despite the fact we haven't seen much of it, is still heating the Earth's surface, and that heat rises a lot higher than it would in the middle of January. So what we have is some very cold air aloft, but we've got a March sun and a March solar heating that is in turn creating a lot more instability. So we have some instability out there as that cold air comes in aloft. That's why we get more bursts of rain and bursts of snow versus just kind of the blanket snow that we typically have in the month of January. So what we have going on right now, we've already noticed it. We've had two showers. They're just showers that go through the region, but with real strong wind coming up above us in the jet stream and a cloud that can actually build up into that because it's March, we're able to tap into that wind with the updrafts and downdrafts in the atmosphere. So that's bringing some of that strong jet stream wind, which is typically up above us, that's bringing some of that down to the ground. So you've noticed that, especially Lake and Porter counties over the last hour and a half to 2 hours, we've seen these showers come in and the wind really ramps up during those. We've seen gusts 35, even 45 miles per hour in some of those showers. The reason for the severe thunderstorm warning just off towards our west is there's a pretty organized shower coming in. It's got some downpours with it, but it's so well organized that it's tapping into that jet stream wind and it's bringing it down, some of it down to the surface. So we've seen upwards of 60 to 65 mile per hour winds within that downpour. I don't want to call it a thunderstorm because it's not. It's basically a gusty shower, and we've seen some damaging wind with that. We've had some tree damage and some roof damage going all the way back towards areas near Rockford. So certainly a gusty, organized shower getting ready to go in here. So where is it right now? So I'll stop the radar. That way we can take a look at where we're talking the heaviest wind right now within the system. And it's just off towards our west. It's near Tinley Park, Oak Lawn. This is going to head into the Munster and western areas of Lake County, probably in half hour or less. So I would go probably 20, 25 minutes or so. And what you'll get out of this in Lake County from west to east is going to be a heavy downpour, but you're also going to get some real strong winds with it as well. And keep in mind, that's just the updrafts and downdrafts within that shower, which are typical, but it's going up and grabbing some real strong wind, which is up above us and bringing it down here to the surface. So strong winds can't be ruled out within this. The severe thunderstorm warning has not been extended out towards Lake County yet. I would imagine if that wind field continues to be as strong as it is, we will be under severe thunderstorm warning. And this will be primarily from Crown Point north. So if you're in the southern half of the county, the bulk of the storm doesn't look to hit you right now, like down towards Lowell. Cedar Lake, you're going to be close to it. But if you're in the Maryville area, Hammond even going to get hit by this. Whiting, as it looks right now, Portage, Gary, all those areas likely to see a downpour with some strong winds with it. As we go into the evening hours, we can expect more of this. All right, it's windy as is. We've had breezy to windy conditions throughout the day today as this cold air continues to come in. But that cold air is really coming in on a frontal boundary, and that front is now through. So what we're seeing now are anytime you see precip falling, whether it be rain, it'll probably mix with some graupel in the next couple hours, and then eventually snow. Whenever you have that precip falling, it's not going to be constant. You'll get it, and then you'll have a break. You'll get it, you'll have a break. But whenever you see it, the chance for strong wind is there because anytime you have precip, you have a cloud which goes up into the sky, and that's tapping into the strong wind. So Anytime it's snowing, grappling, or raining this evening and tonight, you're likely to be accompanied with some real strong winds with it as well. Could be damaging at times. I think most of them will probably be on the order of 40 to 50 miles per hour. With gusts in that, and then it's going to be out of here. And then you have, 20 to 30 mile per hour winds. You get another shower or grapple or some snow, which we'll be seeing later. You'll see those winds pick up. So that's what we've got going on this evening. In terms of this radar, I want to get into it briefly for you and kind of look at these winds and the evolution of that. So what we're going to turn on is our velocity product. You're familiar with this when we're doing tornado coverage on here. And what we're looking for on here are the brighter colors. So all the reds that you see across Northwest Indiana, that means the wind is going away from the radar site. And that's just because it's to the east of the radar site. So don't worry about the colors so much. What we're looking at is the brightness of those colors. So you can see what we've had here across the region. Some of these little showers that we've had going through, like this one right here, you've got another one here. You see the brighter echoes in there, or the brighter shade of pink. That's indicating some of the gusts that we've had, 40 to 50 miles per hour. Keep in mind the radar beam is going up into the sky a little bit, so it's not getting a direct read of how strong that wind is here at the surface. But still, we've had some gusty winds. They've already been reported across the region. That's going to continue. In regards to the storm that we have off towards our north and the west, that's the one that we're watching that has the severe thunderstorm warning with it. It's this one right here, just now coming in Orland Park and Tinley Park, as I mentioned. And that's got that strong wind with it. You can see some of the higher reflectivity values there. That's where your wind gust is on the leading edge. And it's all rain right now. We had grapple mixed with this one back towards the west. Grapple is those little dipping dots, which indicates you've got some wintry atmosphere up above you and some convection or some instability to be able to produce those dipping dots. But you might have a little bit of that as it moves in, but looks to be mainly rain as now. You can see the direction of that is generally in this direction, right into Lake County, kind of the same path these other spotty showers have done the rest of the evening. All right, so that's what we're looking at. Again, if you're just tuning in, there's a severe thunderstorm warning out towards our west. It's kind of a different setup. It's not really a thunderstorm. It's more of a downpour with real strong winds. 50 to 65 mile per hour winds have already been reported with it. That is likely to continue as it moves into Northwest Indiana. So we're talking the potential for damaging winds in primarily the northern 2/3 of Lake County. That would translate into Porter County. Valpo, you would be in the path of this storm, we'll call it. And that would probably be another 45 minutes, maybe an hour on that. It's moving pretty quickly, but again, it's going to take some time to get there. And eventually that would be out towards the LaPorte area, probably south of LaPorte, more so into Stark County and southern LaPorte County a little bit later. This isn't the only one we're watching. All the other little showers we have gusty winds as well, but this has been the most organized as we've gone throughout the evening in terms of the wind. So the other thing I want to talk about, I'm going to shut this screen sharing off real quick for you, and I want to share the forecast screen so we can show where we go the rest of not just the evening, but with this storm system on into the weekend. So here we go. We'll fire this up for you. See if I can get a little closer for you. That should help. So in terms of what we're dealing with now, here's our storm system. This is where we fall into right now. Everything's primarily rain. That's going to change, though. We've got cold air and gusty winds. This is a very vigorous area of low pressure. This is bringing air directly from the North Pole all the way down. So you notice by tonight, this is late this evening into tonight, some of those rain showers change over to snow showers. And given the convective nature of this, or kind of how it looks like a checkerboard on radar, we're likely going to have bursts of snow and then it goes away. And then we have a burst of snow and it goes away. We're not anticipating a lot in terms of accumulation. If you joined us for our Region Weather Live Wednesday night, as we always do on Sunday and Wednesdays, we talked about how we're not expecting a lot of snow, but we're expecting bursts of snow. That looks to continue all through the night, and that'll probably continue into the daytime tomorrow as well. But we're not expecting a lot of accumulation from this. Just a real quick reduced visibility, road might slicken up, and then it would melt, right? Because that's what it does this time of year. Most of it would melt. Grassy surfaces may keep some pack on there. But you can see as we go through time, this is overnight into tomorrow morning. This latest model run of the NAM Nest brings a pretty stout band of almost lake effect snow. I just made that word up, but I think you get it, of snow into the region. So we could have some real decent bursts of snow between now and about early afternoon tomorrow at times. Again, it's not going to be consistent, but we're likely to see some reduced visibility. As we go through time tomorrow, the wind is going to remain gusty. It'll start to ease off tomorrow evening. You notice how the snow continues of the lake effect variety for a little bit longer. And then on into Sunday, we're still dealing with some form of lake effect snow shower activity, mainly LaPorte County, but can't rule out with this cold air it getting all the way into Lake and Porter County. So we're going to have some snowflakes flying pretty much all weekend. Sunday is the day where we bring in drier air and high pressure, and eventually we'll clear things out. And eventually we'll start to warm things up, but it's going to take some time. This isn't going to be a quick bounce back like we had last weekend, but it does look like we're going to bounce back from this. Just going to take a little while, okay? In terms of snowfall totals, this is the last thing we'll talk about here. Then I'd be happy to answer your questions, and we'll get you on to your Friday evening here. But in terms of snowfall accumulation, again, not much, but where these little bands persist, you can see we're talking maybe half an inch. Again, a lot of it's going to melt, but we could get a quick quarter of an inch in spots. That's going to slicken things up. And then if we do see some banding, you see some of these totals, NamNest saying maybe 1 to 2 inches in spots. The HRRR model is pretty similar to that. So don't be surprised if we do have a coating on some of the grassy areas by later tomorrow. Don't be surprised if we do have a little bit of accumulation in spots. It's not going to be widespread, though. It's pretty much going to be all across the region, even chances for this, favoring out towards the snow belt later on. So in summary, we've got real gusty showers here tonight. Could see some damaging wind with some of these. 50 to 65 mile per hour winds possible when that downpour comes in. We've got one that's moving into Lake County in the next 20 minutes or so. That will go from west to east. After that, there's going to be more of these. There's going to be more spotty showers that you get a downpour, strong winds that will eventually change over to some grapple, which are the Dippin' Dots. That will eventually change over to some snow, and we could see some bursts of snow. That snow will likely be mixed with grapple as well. It's not going to be clean and fluffy. It's going to be a pretty heavy, almost like a snow downpour when you get in some of these. And then we're going to continue to be windy, blustery, and colder tomorrow with flakes of flying. And again, not a lot of snow out of this, but could certainly see some coating, maybe to a couple inches if we get a band over the same area over and over again. Okay, so that's what we're dealing with. All right. So be happy to answer your questions for you. Let's see. David says there's a tornado in Porter County. There is not, David. There's very strong wind, though. Let's see. Mother Nature is not happy today, says Amy. Totally would agree with that one, Amy, for sure. It has been a windy set of days, and it's going to be a windy set of hours here going into tomorrow for sure. So that's what we've got going on. Debbie saying sunshine in Union Township. Debbie, that's how this goes. We've got very changeable skies across the area. And this is just a true cold air mass coming into a late March day around here for sure. Dave, you're welcome. Thanks for checking us out on our YouTube channel. I certainly appreciate that. Just wanted to pass along this information to you for sure, because this is certainly an interesting event that we've got going on. And that strong wind coming in the Lake County is the biggest concern. So that's what we're getting on there. Okay. Emma, that's how it's going to go. Getting dark in LaPorte, she says. Emma, that's the way this is going to go. We're going to go from sunshine to dark clouds, and a squall moves in, and then sun comes back out. And it's really fascinating this time of year. It's the same setup that we would have in January, except we have a March sun, which makes things so different, right? It's really interesting. Susie already saw some grapple near Dyer. That's Susie. Thanks for that report, because I wasn't seeing that on radar. So yeah, so it sounds like we're already getting some of those Dippin' Dots around there for sure. Cade, we'll cover that on our Sunday Night Region Weather Live. I haven't had a good chance to look. I'm actually off today. And then I was doing severe weather coverage yesterday. So I really haven't had a good look at the extended for the region. It's one of those where I actually don't know. I know what it was looking like a couple days ago. And I would imagine it's still the same. If we're going through the weekend stays cold, we get a quick bounce back. I would imagine that's still true. Sometime on Wednesday, it looks like temps look to peak. There's a low pressure that's coming in from the west that'll bring our air, instead of out of Canada, it'll be a quick switch back to the south. So we should get a quick bump in temps this week, but it would come with rain. There'll likely be severe weather south. And then on the backside of that, that's what I don't know, because the models were really inconsistent yesterday or 2 days ago. But it does look like we get cooler again as of right now, for sure. So that's what we're dealing with. No, I'm seeing questions about a tornado in Porter. No, I don't see a tornado in Porter County. There's gusty wind for sure. There's no warning out for that. So no, there's not a tornado in Porter County. I'm not expecting tornadoes from this. I don't know where that's coming from. This is a strong damaging wind event that's going to be moving into Lake County over the next probably 10 to 15 minutes. And it's just a downpour with strong wind in it. All right. There's not a tornado out there for sure. Kathy, you're welcome. Always on my mind. Days off or not days off. And actually, I'm on vacation this week. So posts might be a little bit irregular. I do know for those that are regulars with us, Wednesday night's broadcasts of Region Weather Live, we're not going to have it. I'm taking the kids to a water park indoor. So that'll be fun. We've got 3 kids, so it's going to be a lot of fun for sure. But anyway, I don't know about the internet signal there, and we're going to use this week to relax for sure. Seeing a lot of grapple reports. Thank you guys for those. Jenny and Kathy are both asking what's grapple, and Susie has a great answer. Yeah, small little hail-like balls, kind of like styrofoam ball size. Yes, that is a perfect explanation, Susie. I call them Dippin' Dots. It's not indicative of severe weather at all. We typically get grapple in the fall and in the spring. And it's when you have cold air aloft and it's a little bit warmer down here at the surface. That raindrop or that snowflake falls, it melts, and then the cold air kind of freezes it again, kind of like it does sleet, but not enough to become an ice cube. So it's kind of like a grapple ball or a little styrofoam ball. It doesn't mean severe weather. It just means your atmosphere is either a fall time atmosphere or a springtime atmosphere. It's really kind of neat for sure. Courtney, you're welcome for sure. Kathy, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Grapple typically doesn't get too big, Debbie. I've seen some pretty big ones before that are, I mean, they stay less than a dime size for sure. They stay Dippin' Dot size, but I don't know if if you go to Great America every now and then, you go to the Dippin' Dot stand. Sometimes you'll get, if you get the person to dig down towards the bottom, sometimes the Dippin' Dots that you get are actually bigger. You can get more for your money that way. A little inside secret. I'm not kidding. So you can get some that are a little bit bigger than that for sure. But it usually doesn't get too huge for sure. Yeah, Mari or Mary, however you pronounce it. You're absolutely right about that round that came through Gary. We already saw 2 showers that went through Lake County and Porter County. Both those had gusty winds. This next one's getting ready to come in though, and that's going to have some gusty winds with it as well. Okay. Yeah, thanks for that report, Christina. I appreciate it. Susie, your explanation was just fine for sure. All right. So that's what I've got for you guys. Again, be prepared for some strong winds tonight. Don't be surprised if you have those with these showers and the grapple. And eventually it's going to be grapple and snow tonight. So it's going to be very wintry around here tonight, tomorrow. Just the feel of it. Oh, right. We'll break out of this. We'll get through it. We'll go from there. Lori, in Crown Point, you're probably looking off towards the west. That's that heavy downpour coming in. It's got strong winds with it. That's why we're on here right now. Miranda, there's no storms with this. I know it's a severe thunderstorm warning, but there hasn't been any lightning with this. All right. There could be lightning with this, but I don't think that's a big issue. What this is just instability. There's lots of instability because it's so cold up above us. Remember, warm air rises into cold air, and it rises real fast if it's real cold. So we're getting some pretty decent growth of these showers. So moving into Lake County, what we have is a downpour. It's a shower. It's a heavy downpour with grapple, but with strong winds. The big threat with these is strong winds. Whenever it's precipitating outside tonight and this evening, you're going to have strong winds with it because these clouds are going up into the jet stream and they're tapping into that. All right. That's the only danger. There's not a danger of tornadoes tonight. For crying out loud, we have grapple falling. It's almost near impossible with the atmospheric setup. The danger is going to be from strong winds, and it's going to be from slick travel later on tonight with some of these reduced visibilities. Okay. Jerry, no, grapple cannot damage vehicles. It's usually it's almost like the weight of a styrofoam ball. It's not icy at all. Hail can. We are not in the setup right now for large hail or anything like that. All right. Yeah, Kathy, the winds stay strong all night. The winds are going to remain gusty. Again, they're strongest when it's precipitating outside. If you're between showers or grapple showers or snow squalls like we'll have tonight, the wind will still be gusty, but not quite as strong as within those for sure. Christine, thanks for the report of the sun being out for sure. Jade, that's okay. So we've got a heavy shower moving into Lake County now, and that's going to bring some strong winds into Lake County. That strong wind is going to likely translate east into Porter County and then eventually LaPorte and Stark counties. But any of these showers mixed with grapple are going to produce some strong winds tonight. So it's already kind of begun, but we're going to see it really ramp up here this evening. And it's going to be spotty. Not everyone's going to see 60-mile-per-hour winds tonight. This is going to be within the strongest, most organized showers that we have. And again, it turns over to some snow as well. Kathy, great question. Yeah, northwest wind. I want to get you the exact on that. Yeah, you can see these isobars here. So it's strong northwest wind right now. That will eventually, it'll pretty much stay the same direction. It might turn a little bit more northerly tonight and tomorrow, but certainly cold wind, either way you put it, for sure. Melissa, thank you. You're about to get another one. I think this next one stays mainly north of you, but it could clip you for sure. We'll see. All right. Okay, guys, we'll get you on your Friday evening. Just wanted to give you that update. So let your friends know, the strong winds, there's not a tornado or anything like that, but it certainly is a pretty potent system coming in. And some of these showers, especially that one coming into Lake County, bears some watching. We could have some wind damage with that. So good idea would be to go get if you have stuff around the yard that could blow around, just bring it inside before it hits, probably to be safe to do that, okay? Enjoy your weekend. Next time I'll see you will be Sunday night for our Region Weather Live broadcast. Until then, we'll have some updates here on our page and on our webpage, which is regionweather.com. We'll talk to you soon. Stay safe, everybody. Any pictures or reports that you have that you can take safely, go ahead and share those with us. We'd be happy to pass along to the Weather Service, okay? All right, thanks, guys. Bye.